Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lived and Told. For those who are seeing this visually on the video, no, we're not doing a Liverpool podcast today. I got my good friend Kenny. Kenny, how are you?
Good to see you, man. I'm good. How are you?
Likewise, good to see you. So, Kenny got on today. He comes professionally from a digital and marketing background there.
Yep.
And that's also what you studied in university as well? Bachelor?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
For the most part, yep. Awesome. So, Kenny I've known for a couple of years ago now, so I want to get him on to talk about, his photography business and maybe dive a little bit into his marketing expertise as well. But Kenny, hopefully I've done your introduction some justice, but is there anything else you want to add onto that at all?
No, I think you've covered it perfectly. Work in marketing, got a side business in photography and videography. Obviously, we'll probably go more in depth into those topics anyway. So yeah, that's far away.
Yeah, awesome. Ken, you told me to listen to the episodes before, so you know this is coming. So some rapid fire questions so those listening and viewing can get to know you better. So first one, what was your first job?
My first job was at Nando's.
Really?
Yeah, I worked at Nando's for 6 months with actually a good friend of yours as well, Josh.
Josh Liu?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got me into Nando's back in the day.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Josh. He was on episode, if I try to remember, episode 8 now, I think, or maybe episode 4 even. Yeah.
Yeah, the powerlifting prodigy.
That's it.
Yeah, so he got me a job there, and I think that was during year 12.
Yeah.
And then I bitched out after 6 months because I was like, nah, I got to focus on my studies.
Were you the cook or like the customer service, or a bit of both? Or how did it work?
A bit of all of it. When you start, you got to do the front and the back house stuff.
Yep.
So when I was working there, I think usually when Nando's at High Point, it's like it'll close at 9 or 10 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
It got to a point I was like, I can't finish at this time and do my studies properly. So
I'm assuming after you quit, your study scores got better.
Yeah, I suppose so. I did good enough in school to get where I wanted to go. So
quitting actually worked.
Yeah.
The best book you've ever read?
Ooh, I'll probably say Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Probably that's probably been my favorite read.
Yeah.
Because even before I read that book, I was not a book reader.
Yeah.
And you ask anyone that knows me,
yeah,
they will say that Kenny hated books.
Yeah.
But after reading Atomic Habits, I was like, wow, there is actually there's a book for everyone.
Yeah.
And you just have to find it, give it the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then obviously the learnings that you actually get from that book anyway actually filter through a lot of things throughout life as well. So yeah, that's my favorite read.
Did that kind of start like your book reading journey? Have you read more books subsequently since then?
Yeah, no, definitely I've read more books since then. And from that point I knew me trying to read fiction books, that's where I was like, nah, I can't do it because it's just not interesting to me.
Yep.
But reading those like self-help books or more non-fiction things about stories and biographies and stuff, that's what I found more interesting because you can actually pull insights and knowledge from real scenarios or real people and then obviously try and implement it yourself.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. This question is, if your life was made into a montage, what would the theme song be?
Well, okay. What would the theme song be?
Up until this point.
Your question's always so creative. That's a hard one. For some reason, the Attack on Titan song just popped up in my head. But my life is definitely not as hectic as that, so it's definitely not it.
I'm sure you've had moments, though.
But I'd hope to say, I'm a massive fan of J. Cole, so I don't know, maybe one of his songs I hope would resonate with my life or in some way. Maybe Love Yours, that'd be pretty cool.
Done. Beautiful. Last one. I know this is a trend going on, but I'm going to take it a step further. So I think in 2026, where we're currently recording, there's like a trend going back 10 years and, what you're doing, what you look like and stuff. I'm going to go back further. And this is probably not the most smooth segue, but who was your childhood crush growing up?
Ooh. Childhood crush as a kid? Well, not a kid, but even in high school and stuff.
High school, yeah.
I think in terms of celebrity, it's probably like Jessica Alba or something.
Yeah. No, perfect. All right, we won't go into that even further. But let's get into the episode and while we have Kenny on here. So, Kenny, I think you've been doing your videography and photography for about 6 years or so now?
Yeah, it's about... actually, it's probably around like 7 or 8 years now. I'll probably need to update my website, actually, after you said that.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess if you want, I can go through.
Yeah. So talk us through the journey. I think those listening and viewing this would have some sense of what photography is like. But you do it as as a business on top of your 9 to 5. Like, how does someone how did you personally find the passion for it to get into it? Really?
Yeah. So I guess how it all kind of began was we probably have to go back to 2017.
Yeah.
I think, and that was the first time I went to Japan with my mates.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had my phone was a HTC One.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of you guys remember. It was like a full silverback one.
Maybe we can set.
Yeah, maybe we can put Lisa. Please put one here. So that phone.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, whenever you took photos on that phone, it had a pink filter on everything.
Automatically.
I think it was just broken. But it was common amongst all the HTC One users.
Oh, okay.
So at that time, I pretty much couldn't take photos. So when I went to Japan that first time, 2017, because I knew that taking photos was kind of useless on my phone, I never took any photos.
Yeah.
Then after coming back from that trip, I could never remember what happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much a visual person. So if someone was to ask me like, where did we go, what did we do, what did we eat and stuff, like I would have the biggest trouble trying to recall what we had done.
Yeah.
So then that was kind of the realization for me that I need to start taking more photos or something, or do something about this phone so that I can capture and record things that are happening in my life.
Yeah.
So then 2 years later, 2019, we planned another trip to Japan.
Back to Japan, yeah.
Back to Japan.
Yeah.
I can go every year.
Yeah.
But this time round, I bought myself a small Sony point and shoot camera.
Yeah.
And then that was going to be the start of me just taking photos and recording videos of us, holiday pics and holiday videos and stuff.
So you go back one step, you bought that camera. Was it because of your 2017 Japan trip and how you couldn't remember, or was it kind of almost a coincidence that you had this to bring on this 2019 trip now?
No, that was purely the reason. I was this time I want to actually take photos.
Yeah, okay. I don't want no more pink filter on my photos.
I don't want any
anymore.
more pink filters. I don't want to forget what we did.
Yeah.
So then, during that trip, I took so many photos. Photos aren't even that good.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was a good street photographer at the time, but when you look back, it's like could have done better.
I think everyone says that about.
I didn't know how to use my camera settings properly, so when I was recording footage in 4K, it was so shaky that it's you can't even really use it. But that's kind of how it all began. Yeah. And then since that moment, good friend of ours, Franny.
Yeah, another person who's come onto the podcast.
He's also been on the podcast, so make sure you listen to him. He was also into street photography around the time that I met him as well. Yeah. So then I kind of went along with him every time we went to the city to shoot and stuff. Yeah. And that's kind of where the gears started really going for photography. Yeah. Where I was super motivated to always go to the city every week, take photos, edit them and all that kind of stuff. Mm. And then that just kind of naturally transitions to, family asking if you can take photos for them at birthdays and events and stuff. Yeah. And then...
Because I think it's all automatically, hey, you're a really cool looking camera. It looks really big and really fancy. Take photos.
You look professional. You take the photos. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Then that kind of transitions through into COVID. Yeah. Because at a certain point in COVID, I actually quit my job.
Oh, okay.
With no backup plan or anything.
And were you in marketing at the time?
Yeah, I was in marketing as well.
Marketing time, yeah.
So then I quit my job and I was like, I'm gonna start YouTube, like everyone in COVID wanted to do. Yeah. So then I started making videos on YouTube, and then that's when the gears started going again, but for video this time. Yeah. And then then I think from then on, it was just kind of a side thing that I would just do for fun. It was never anything that I was gonna try pursue for an income or anything. Yeah. But at a certain stage, I kind of got an opportunity that kind of landed on my lap. Yeah. It wasn't something that I was even pursuing. Yeah. It was essentially, I had a meeting with my broker. Yeah. And he was just asking are you thinking of any other ways to increase your income so you can increase your borrowing capacity and all that kind of stuff? I'm like, I do photography, but I haven't been paid for it, but maybe I can do something out of that. Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, well, maybe, I run this big event in this local area. Why don't you send me your rates? Yeah. And let's try arrange something. Yeah. And how was that moment for you? Were you a bit nervous or hesitant to send him the rates? Or I was so nervous, man.
So what did you do? You just Google photographers near me and kind of pick the price in that range, or like how did you come up with your answer?
Actually, in that moment, I was just so excited to have an opportunity to shoot something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even something where, you know, when you begin, you shoot like a small birthday for someone or whatever.
Like a 3-year-old
This
birthday.
one was, I guess if anyone follows me on Instagram, they will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's the Sunshine Lunar Festival.
Yep.
Which happens every year to celebrate, obviously, Chinese and Lunar New Year.
Yep.
So that was my first ever gig in 2024.
Yep.
So I was like, shit, I've never done this before. I've never given any rates. And now I'm shooting a massive festival in my local town.
Yeah.
So I full lowballed myself. Like I just said $1,000. I'll do it for $1,000.
Okay.
After obviously looking back at it now, I'm like, bruh, that's...
Hey man, we all start somewhere.
we all start somewhere. But it was just cool to see $1,000 land into my account because I was doing photos for someone.
Yeah.
So then from that point on, it was kind of like, all right, this can be a legit thing.
Yeah.
And even the feedback I received from them afterwards, they said that those were the best photos they've ever had for the event.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, okay, so now I can try and stop that imposter syndrome a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Let's just kick this off then. Let's go make the website. Let's go register the business name. Let's go all that stuff.
I'm going all in.
Well, not all in yet. Hopefully I can go all in soon enough.
And at the time, so you came out of COVID, you were doing your YouTube and video editing and then photography, and it led to this opportunity there. The question I wanted to ask was, obviously you had that imposter syndrome when you're giving your rates, but then when you're actually doing the shoot, like how did you go through that? Did you still have that imposter syndrome there, or how did you navigate, that actual day? Like, cool, I'm on my own now.
Yeah.
It's almost like an audition almost. It's almost like an audition, not just for them, but also for yourself to validate, is this something that I should pursue bigger and longer? Like, how did you navigate through that?
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. I think, before it all happened, it was definitely a scary thing. Yeah. But once the day starts, or for me anyway, you kind of then just start working off your instincts.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of stuff comes with the pre-preparation as well. So before the day itself, I already had my whole day mapped out, where I need to be, which stage performances I need to get.
Yeah.
If there's not an important performance here, then I'm going to be running over to the kids kids rides over there and stuff. So all of that was planned out. So that helps make it smooth on the day, or smoother on the day. Yeah. But then once you're shooting, it's just like you're using the skills that you have, the eye that you have for photography to just carry you through the rest of the day. Yeah. So there wasn't really too much thinking to do after that. The only struggle with that was I didn't account for like time to eat.
Oh no!
Because the shoot I think was from 11 a.m. and it finished at like 10 p.m. So I didn't account for any time to eat lunch or have dinner. Oh no! So luckily I had my partner there, and she would just like run around and grab some of like the potato sticks or potato swirls, and she'll feed me while I'm taking photos and stuff. So
you made it through your first shoot in one piece.
Oh yeah, I was like knackered as hell though. Like I couldn't feel my legs after that day.
You touched on a few things earlier there, Kenny, about how, and I think I read before how you really want to preserve your memories of not just Japan but also I think your Korea trip as well. And you touched on street photography. For those who are listening, what is street photography? Is it simply just taking photos of the street, or what is street? Well, how would you explain street photography?
So street photography is, what's a good way to put it? It's kind of just capturing the everyday moments.
So candid is maybe
candid moments, but
Gen Zs would use maybe.
Candid moments that just happen in the street amongst strangers. Like a lot of the things you generally look for is usually it's like nice compositions, so nice areas in the cities in the streets where a lot of like the lines of the buildings kind of aligned to a certain spot. I think the core of street photography is being able to tell stories of where you are. In particular, it's like showcasing how people interact with each other, or how people dress in a certain city, or that kind of stuff. So
if I put it into a very simple context, could that be for us who live in Melbourne and those who live in Melbourne as well? Could it be like photography at Flinders Street Station, someone walking to work potentially? Is that kind of
that can definitely fall in street photography. I think it's just as long as you're capturing the essence of wherever you are and of the people within that area, then you can consider that as street photography. And in street photography, there's not really, I wouldn't say there's really like rules per se.
Yeah,
everyone that does street photography has a different perspective on what they're looking at. So I don't think there's one way to do it.
Okay, yeah. No, that's actually really well explained and really, what do you call it, very simple to understand.
Maybe you should give it a go.
I should. Nah, I'm terrible taking photos. I got my iPhone and
that does the job.
That's more than complex enough for me, honestly. But maybe one day. So you talked about the moment where you kind of realized, hey, this could be a legitimate business thing. Talk us through what happened after that. You registered the business, ABN for those who live in Australia is an Australian business number. Also, who don't live in Australia, that's the Australian business number. So you need to have that as legitimate business. Did the website, and then was it kind of just, hey, these are my rates. Hey, this is what I do. This is my portfolio. Was it as simple as that?
Yeah. So in the first year, I wasn't actually pushing it all that hard.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, because I did so well for the organisers that do the Lunar Festival, they also run other events or other initiatives in the area throughout the year as well.
In the community.
Yeah. So I actually got quite a lot of opportunities just through them throughout that first year. I don't think I shot really for anyone else. So that was a good way for me to just kind of tiptoe my way in. And the reason I say it was a good opportunity was because they work alongside a lot of the different businesses in the area already. So then there was a certain event they had where it was like business awards, and all the winners who won awards got like a 20-minute photography award.
Yeah.
So then I would come out and take photos for them, for those businesses.
You were okay.
Yeah, so then that gave me an opportunity to go to a lawyer firm and take headshots for them.
Yep.
Go to a restaurant and take food photography for them.
Yep.
Go to like a dentist and take photos of their like daily practices or the services they provide. So that gave me like a really cool outlook on what it would be like to take photos for all these different businesses.
Yeah.
So then from there, it started to snowball a little bit as like my friends and stuff knew that I was doing photography as a business. So a lot of the work I've gotten so far has been through referrals and word of mouth.
Word of mouth,
which in marketing terms is probably like the strongest form of marketing that you can really have.
There's organic referrals, I guess.
Yeah, organic. Yeah, because then you don't have to. You're not putting any money towards it, and it's essentially letting your work talk for you.
Yep.
So from that point, then I started getting referrals from like my barber would refer me to someone.
Oh, awesome.
And I'll do like a proposal there.
Yeah.
Friends or family would refer me to this particular person, and I'll do that too.
Yeah.
And I think it really started to snowball once I did photos for Eddie.
Yeah.
So Eddie the
osteo.
Eddie the osteo.
Yeah.
So after I did his photos, I think the content started picking up a lot more in terms of awareness.
Yeah.
And then that's when I obviously got opportunities to shoot with Lisa and stuff as well. And then I got to do your birthday and things like that. Since then, the last year has been just the busiest I've ever been. Yeah. And I still think there's a lot to learn in terms of how to run a business, how to run it more efficiently with proper processes.
Systems and whatnot.
All that stuff. But we just take it day by day. And,
100%. So it sounds like it was quite a smooth transition for you in terms of, from that first community event to, getting organic referrals there. Yeah. Were there any challenges or any issues that you ran into starting out? Or
challenges? I haven't actually run into too many challenges, but I think, kind of alluded before, the hardest part is usually the imposter syndrome still.
Yeah.
And I think most people can kind of relate to it in any kind of field that they're in.
Yeah.
Whenever you're looking at other people that do similar things to you, it's like, damn, they do it so well. I'm not on that level, so I don't feel like I can charge that much, or I don't know if I can do that kind of project or whatever. So that's probably the biggest challenge that I've had, and then that's affected how, like, whenever I try to do pricing or provide pricing to clients and stuff, sometimes I'm just second guessing myself. But then, what I've learned is you just got to back yourself, and if you think your time is worth whatever it is, you just put that through. And a lot of the times clients will come back and be like, yep, cool, accept on the spot, and you're like, oh, what was I worrying about? I spent all that time worrying for nothing. Like,
I should have charged more.
Maybe I should have charged more, but Yeah, like, because I think a lot of the time when you're sitting in your thoughts, you're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like you're just, and it's a lot of negative thoughts that you
Oh,
don't really need to be putting on yourself, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think I go back to the last episode that I did with Dan from Hoisin, how he said, 80%, that's good enough. 80%, just get it out, just do it. You're 80% is at the level where you're able to do things and you're capable. So just don't doubt that 20%. Just go for it.
Yeah, I think that definitely resonates a lot, and I'm still definitely guilty of trying to do things too perfectly.
It's the pressures of
But yeah, then that I guess that kind of also trickles down to the actual promoting of the business.
Yeah.
Like I feel the funny thing is, and I've spoken to a lot of other marketers who are who are in a similar position where you do marketing as 9 to 5, you know what to do, you know exactly what you need, and then when it comes to like the 5 to 9, where you got to do it for yourself, it's like why is this so hard? Like it's
that's a good question, and it's a good segue. What is that disconnect? Why do you feel that there's that disconnection? Do you feel like, is it an energy thing, like a resource, like a time thing, or where do you think that disconnect comes from?
Yeah, it's probably a mix. I think obviously, like for work, you kind of that's your livelihood in a sense. So like you kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be losing their jobs or
100%, like
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But I guess the other and then I guess that kind of creates a barrier where you feel somewhat safe.
Yeah.
Which means maybe your back is not against the wall for your business.
Yeah.
So then you're not pushing as hard, or you feel like if I just don't do it today, everything will still be fine.
Yeah.
Like nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one part, I think.
Yeah. And that's not to say that your marketing background hasn't helped you grow your business. Sure. So I think over the last, people that follow you and who will follow you post this episode, they will see, your feed and reels and whatnot, and see that, you've started blogging more. Has that been a purpose led thing to try and grow the business, or has it been something that you enjoy doing, or what's the purpose behind that?
Yeah. So for one, I definitely do enjoy it. Like, I like being, as much as I like being behind the camera, I actually really do enjoy being in front of the camera as well.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yep.
But secondly is I want to show my face on my page because I want people to know who I am as a personality, as a person, how I sound, how I talk, what are my mannerisms. And that just comes from me seeing that a lot of photographers that I see on my feed, sometimes everything is just their photos.
Yeah.
But I don't know who they are.
What they look like.
Am I going to, if I was looking for a photographer, I want to know if I'm going to vibe with them.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm a Liverpool fan. Maybe that means all the Liverpool fans that are looking for photographers will be like, yep, that's my guy, because we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, for me, if I was buying something or looking for someone, I want to know who they are. And that's essentially what I'm kind of doing for myself.
Yeah.
For my business.
Yeah. I guess with that kind of service business, whether you like it or not, you are physically you're the brand, you're the face of it. So I think people want to see what's behind, the service, or the good sometimes, and I think you're doing a good job of that. For sure.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, and I guess it's like you just want to make sure if you're if it's an overly serious job or whatever, then maybe it's like this person's not for them, or maybe this person's way too like jokey and stuff for what the client wants or whatever. It's just a way for people to understand who you are and make an initial judgment on, your character and whether or not they think they'll vibe with you. So and hopefully it casts a wide net and everyone thinks they can vibe with me, I hope.
No, for sure. So your portfolio, correct me if I'm wrong, I think has been with, all people. I don't think you've done any animals or anything like that. So all people. So so when you meet a client for the first time or, second time when you're doing the shoot, how do you create a atmosphere that suits what they're looking for as well, but also at the same time creates kind of like a safe atmosphere as well, where you're both, on the same page, and like I said, they're safe to be able to express themselves and you're able to achieve the objective, whether it's, a fun event or a professional event. How do you do that? How do you cultivate that, and how has that improved over time? So usually whenever I
do an exploration call with any particular client, I try to go in as prepared as possible as well. So from whatever information that I kind of have from the initial inquiry, I already have a list of questions that I want to know. And the reason I do that is so that we can keep the conversation pretty succinct. And all the information that I need is already kind of there. I'm not jumping around in the conversation and making the customer kind of feel like, mumble jumbled all over the place. But alongside that, once the actual call is happening, I just like to listen.
To what they want? Or?
Yeah, just to what they want, what their priorities are, like what is it about the event or the shoot that's most important to them? What is it that it's a non-negotiable and I can't miss?
Yep.
What kind of feeling do they want to get from the gallery itself once it's all done?
Yep.
So a lot of time I want to just let the customer talk it out, and I'll just listen to everything they want to do. Yeah.
It's almost like the reverse. So you thought about the 80-20 principle before. It's almost like you're 80% listening, absorbing that in, and 20%, hey, this is what they want. This is what I recommend. Do you provide almost recommendations on that discovery call?
Yeah, I'll definitely do recommendations as well, because there's the first part of listening and absorbing in everything that they want or what they're envisioning.
Yeah.
And then part of the expertise then comes in at the end where you're like, okay, like I've heard everything that you've explained so far about your event or your shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
Here is my recommendations on like how we should do it, or how we should structure the night so that maybe it's as seamless as possible.
Yeah.
Or where should you be standing for a particular part? So let's say if it's someone has inquired me for a secret proposal or something.
Yeah.
We'll normally plan it all out, but then we'll go into all the details of like where I think you should be standing. Like make sure whenever you do go on one knee that you're conscious about where you're standing and like the backdrop thing that you've got.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those small details that you kind of just go through, and you kind of learn as you just do the shoots.
Yeah.
And then as each shoot goes on, I learn something else, and then
just comes with experience almost. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, awesome. And have you ever had a discovery call and not that you don't gel per se, but maybe what they're looking for isn't, what your service is, and you recommend it to other photographers? Is that how the process works, or is it not that?
At the moment, I wouldn't say I've run into any discovery calls where I've been like, oh, this is kind of
outside your wheelhouse.
Outside my scope. Some things have been like some shoots, or some discussions that I've had with some clients have been kind of like bigger projects around like apparel and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Which is something that I would admit I don't have that much experience in yet.
Yeah.
So that would kind of bring back the imposter syndrome again.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm at the stage of this business where I'm still open to trying a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
So although it's a little bit daunting, I'm always happy to take a crack at it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if it's really something I don't like, then I'll know for next time, like, okay, this is not for me.
Yep.
I'll refer you to someone else. But for the time being, I'm ready to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, done. How do you balance your 9 to 5 with your business?
Yeah,
or does balance not exist?
It's pretty hard. I want to admit, so I think I mentioned before that the past year has probably been my busiest year, which is great for the business. Like it's awesome getting all these inquiries in and being able to do all these shoots like every week or second week or whatever.
Yeah.
But that definitely does take a toll on the things outside of that business. So obviously the 9 to 5 is one thing.
Yeah.
Obviously the 9 to 5 kind of stays there. You kind of just have to do it anyway. So if you haven't had sleep or whatever, you still got to be at work at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So overall, in terms of the 9 to 5, it hasn't been that bad. But I think just after work and then outside of the business, I think that's where it gets really hard.
Is that the social and friendship?
Yeah. So there's definitely like social aspects.
Yep.
In terms of whenever the boys want to hop on and play League, like the last year I had to say no so many times.
Yeah.
And like it just sucks. Like it just hurts my heart when I have to say no to the boys.
And League is League of Legends, obviously.
Yeah, League of Legends.
Yep.
I know it sounds old now because I still play that. But, so like that's the only game I play nowadays.
Yeah.
But I used to be able to play maybe like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But now it's probably like once every 2 months or something.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one. The second is like trying to fit in your fitness.
Yep.
I think obviously for both of us, we know fitness is like quite an important thing.
Yep.
And we want to make sure that we grow old and we're still strong as hell.
Health is wealth, baby.
Health is wealth.
Yeah.
But at times it's been like shit. I used to be able to train 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Now I have to drop it to 4 days a week, and then now it's transitioned into a spot where it's like, okay, now it's 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's definitely gone hard, and I'll admit there's some weeks where we're like, I just don't want to train, don't feel like training because I feel like I have so many other things to do. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then it's just like your normal like house and life admin stuff.
Yep.
In terms of keeping the house clean and like doing your meal prepping and all that kind of stuff. The last year or two we've been trying a lot of stuff to like optimize how we live outside of our businesses and work to make sure it's like quick. So, you know, all the meal prepping is done on Sunday. So all the lunches, all the dinners done on Sunday. So there's no Sunday cooking, no washing during the week. You know, we've integrated like meal plans like Muscle Chef and stuff to just supplement 1 or 2 days a week so that we don't have to cook for those days. I don't know. They're like getting the freaking robot vacuum to like to get rid of cleaning in our task list. There's a lot of things that they've kind of appeared in the last year to speed everything up so that we have more time to build the business, do the marketing. But then also hopefully have like a bit of time still for just recreation.
Fun time, really.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a lot. I think everyone's time poor, but I think, to bring it back to the business almost, I think those that have experienced or obviously used a photographer or videographer, they can see the work that goes into it during the event. And then some people probably realize how much work goes into the behind the scenes. So you alluded to one of them there being the discovery call. What else goes behind the scenes? Like obviously there's the editing and whatnot, but is there anything else that people that aren't in the business don't realize that you guys do behind the scenes? Yeah,
so I mean, I guess with a lot of businesses, right, the things that you don't see is, you know, the time that's spent just going through inquiries and emails and stuff. You know, drafting and responding and all that kind of jazz. Doing work on the website is never an easy thing as well. And then in terms of doing actual jobs, it's, you know, it's doing the briefs.
What's a brief?
A brief essentially is kind of like an overview of the shoot itself, mainly for me, to know kind of what I mentioned before, like where I need to be, what's important on the day, what are the things that are non-negotiables, almost like a checklist.
Oh, okay. So it's almost like dot point. It's not like a massive paragraph, or it can be.
No. It can be, but I guess the word brief means it should be brief. It
should be short,
But so if it's really long, then you're doing something wrong there. But yeah, so there's like definitely, you know, hours put into pre-planning the shoot itself. And then obviously after the shoot, then it comes the editing, and the editing can sometimes be the biggest time like use outside of just the actual shoot itself on the day. Because when you're doing the editing, it includes, you know, getting all the files and stuff uploaded into your hard drives and stuff, backing it all up in different systems and other hard drives just in case. Then doing all the culling. So, you know, sometimes after an event, you could have 5,000, 6,000 photos or whatever it may be. You got to go through all of those and pick out the best ones. And I know at the moment there are like AI tools that do it for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I haven't jumped into that yet. Only because like I don't have the trust for it yet. And I still like having my own eye to
look over the photos.
Pick over the ones that I think are good. Because I don't know how the AI works, but sometimes the blurry photos are the ones I want to keep.
Oh, okay.
Because it tells a certain feeling or whatever. But yeah, then obviously you go into the editing and then providing it through to the client at the end. But
it's probably hard to contextualize it, but let's just say you had an event where there was 6,000 photos, I think you said. How long would that take roughly for you to go through, back up, and then probably go through and sort it out and then provide it to the client? Like what's the... How much total hours are you sitting in front of your computer or laptop doing that?
Yeah, so I mean, it probably would take me maybe like, I'm trying to quantify, maybe like 10 hours.
So pretty much a full day of like your 9 to 5.
Yeah, because like, I guess the hard thing, especially if we're not, you know, for people that don't do it as a 9 to 5, we can't just the next day spend the whole day doing it. Because then you could probably just almost deliver it all the next day, really. If you really could just sit down the next day. But like, you know, for someone like me, I probably have like an hour here and then 2 hours here and an hour here to really fit it all together. So I think ballpark maybe 10 hours, maybe a bit less.
Oh wow.
It depends how much editing needs to go into it. I know a lot of the time, like a lot of the photos will have the same look and feel because obviously we apply like that sort of look across all of the pictures. But you still need to go through each picture that you deliver and like adjust the brightness and the exposure and stuff to make sure it still looks looks good because there's no cookie cutter solution really.
Yeah. I already touched on photos there, but in the same vein, could you touch on how long it takes to do videography? Is that longer? I imagine it would be longer because it is a video, but...
Video is definitely longer. Video is definitely longer, especially if you're incorporating a lot more of the edits and the transitions and actually scrubbing or going through footage to pick out the spots that you want and stuff, especially if you've recorded hours and hours of footage. That's a killer. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun as I'm not gonna. That's why I love doing it. But yeah, that's probably the most time-consuming part. And then a lot of the time too, like if depending on what the client needs, sometimes you might need to do some research into specific things if you're not sure how to do it. So that's also potentially part of the time used there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Could anyone that's good at photography and vice versa, videography, could they then do the other one, or do you kind of?
That's a good question. I think there's always opportunity for one or the other to jump ship to the other side because at least everything that's fundamentally done in the camera is transferable in terms of the skills and the knowledge.
Between photos and videos?
Between photos and videos. I guess the difference would be in the editing. Obviously for photos, you're really only looking for, the lighting, the color, the gradients and the shading and everything in the photo. Whereas in video, I think the editing is obviously more complicated because it's moving pictures. The color correction and stuff is, I feel like you have to be a little bit more meticulous about it. And if you kind of stuff it up in the camera when you're recording, it's kind of over.
Oh really? So you can't edit it to save
it? It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard, especially if you're recording in like raw formats in cameras. If you haven't done it right the first time, then it's almost impossible. And I've made that mistake, and that's how I know. I did a video for my full-time job. I did a video where like I was trialing the raw format, but I hadn't really properly learned how to do it. So then in the final product, it was just terrible.
So what's raw format?
So raw format is essentially the footage that is uncompressed for the most part, and there's no like processing that's done within the camera.
Like filters and stuff, you mean, or?
So there's because essentially how like the raw format is like it provides you with the biggest version of that file and gives you all the information that the camera is capturing in terms of the colors and the lighting and stuff. To give you the most flexibility in post to push and pull the colors and the lighting as you wish. But if you're recording on your regular phone or something, a lot of the time it's already processed in a certain way by the device.
Based on the lighting it has
to a certain extent. But the phone will already process it in a certain way where it's kind of almost baked in. And then there's not as much data in that file for you to then push and pull the colors and the lighting and stuff. So usually for like pretty much every professional videographer, you record in raw format because then obviously that gives you the most flexibility to make it look as professional as possible.
I guess to explain it simply, raw footage would be having like a bigger canvas. You have more room to play and do stuff essentially, as opposed to
that could be a good analogy for it. You just have more flexibility, more capability to do what you want with the footage itself and how it looks.
We'll actually come back to the phone. Actually, I got a good segmented question on that one there. But one thing I'd ask was, I think on people's minds listening to this episode is your equipment.
Okay. Yep.
Can we run through, you don't have to show us now, I think we're using one at the moment, but can you run through like your kit bag and like what's in it? How does a photographer, videographer set up the kit bag, to...
Okay. So we'll start with the cameras, I suppose. That's like the most important part. So for me, I'm a Sony shooter.
What's a Sony shooter?
So I use Sony gear. Obviously it can be controversial or not controversial depending on what circles you're in. Some people are like Canon fanboys, some people are Fuji fanboys.
Is it bad to mix up the camera and the lens, or is that...
You actually can't even do that unless... Well, actually you can buy an adapter to be able to use other brands' lenses and stuff. But I've never tried that. I've never even looked into it. So
really? I didn't know that. I thought you could mix and match, but obviously clearly not.
I'm pretty sure there's adapters to do that.
Okay, that's why I interrupted you. You got the camera first?
Okay, so I've got Sony cameras. In particular, I've got the A7C Mark I, which is what we're shooting on right now. And then I've also got an A9 Mark I, for those who may know what it is. Then in terms of lenses, I've got the Sony G Master 24-70 version 2.
Yeah.
I've got the big lens version, so 70-200. I know I'm kind of glossing over these, and I don't know if people will understand what I mean, but there's that for a lot more of the zoom and to get closer to the subjects.
Yep.
Then there's a bunch of other gear like my GoPro for like behind the scenes footage, not my GoPro, my Insta360.
Yep.
For my behind the scenes footage. I've got external lighting, I've got flashes.
Yep.
A bunch of memory cards because that's important.
The most important probably.
Yeah. And then like microphones and stuff. So that's.
Yeah, okay. Why so many lenses and why so many cameras?
So having multiple cameras is important because usually each camera has its own strength.
Yeah.
So for example, the one we're shooting on now, the A7C, that's kind of like my hybrid camera.
Yeah.
Can do photos and can do videos relatively well.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd like the video side to be better, but for the time being, you just use whatever gear you have. Then the A9 is actually more catered towards sport photography. So it just has functions in there that allows it to capture things in with a faster shutter, meaning the small moments it'll be able to capture in sharp detail.
Because obviously in sports you're moving and you're...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the actual capture rate is a lot faster than something like this, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Then in terms of the lenses, it gives you the flexibility to kind of decide where you need to be, or maybe you already plan in your head where the subject's going to be, and then you determine what lens you're going to need.
Yep.
So for example, if you are shooting sports, for example,
yep.
normally you're kind of in the stands. So you don't get to be up close, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to need something like a 70-200 mil lens, or even further, maybe like a 300-600 mil lens, to just be able to get zoomed in enough to see your subject.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go the other way and you use like a 24 mil or a 20 mil lens, those are for your big landscape shots, or cityscape shots, or your big group photos where you want everyone in the shot.
Yeah.
That's when you need those wider lenses. So
okay.
you need to be like pretty quick on your feet, and that's why most people, especially that do events, they just shoot with the zoom lens so that you kind of have multiple lengths in one.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And how did you go about buying your cameras and lenses? Did you just research it, or did you have like a portfolio that you obviously catered to, and you kind of go, oh, I need a camera for this kind of event. Oh, hey, this covers it, and then I'll get a camera for this. Like, how did your purchasing process work?
Yeah, so not necessarily. So the one we're shooting on the A7C, that one was just my first ever proper camera I ever bought, and that was still purely when I was just doing photography for fun.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any particular reason that I bought it. It was just cool. It does photos, or like, well, it does video, not too bad. At the time it was really good, but now it's all right.
Yeah.
And I just love the look of it. So it's got a silver bar at the top that just makes it look a bit more retro.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
That was kind of as far as my decision making went, to be honest. Yeah. And it went on sale, so I was like, you know what? I think it's time.
Had good reviews, it looked cool, and it was on sale. Done.
Yeah. And it's Sony. Like Sony, I think most people use Sony.
Yep.
So that was kind of it. The second camera that I bought, which is the A9, that one had a bit more of an intention to it because I was already in my business at the time.
Yep.
And I bought that one just in case I ever get an opportunity to do sports.
Yeah, okay.
So then that camera gives me the option to potentially do that.
Yep.
But for the time being, I just use these two as my like A and B cameras on the day, especially when I'm shooting photo.
Yep.
I've got one with like a big lens on and then one with the small lens on, so that it covers like multiple scenarios.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start my photography business now. Videography business.
Yeah.
Because you told me to. What camera lens and what camera do you recommend? I'm sure family and friends and maybe your clients ask you this as well, but what would your recommendations be? Or how would I go about trying to find the camera that suits what I'm trying to film and shoot?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I mean, I've only got experience in the Sony ecosystem, so I mean, I can't really comment for all the others, but the concept can probably remain the same. It doesn't really matter which camera brand you go with, but before you even start out, just determine what is it that you want to shoot.
Yeah.
And like to what extent are you going to do your videography as well? So it kind of going back to the example before, if you think there's going to be a slight chance that you might want to do sport or something that's fast moving, like F1 or whatever it is, then you probably need to think of a camera or decide on a camera that has those fast capture rates so that you have the option if it's ever there. And then you can always scale that back and capture anything else in between, right? But if that's not going to be the case and you know that you're not going to pursue that at all, then you can probably go for a cheaper camera body that doesn't have that feature, but will still do then everything else fine, like your events and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then in terms of the video, in terms of video, usually you got to go relatively high end if you want the best version of those raw footage to use for editing and stuff. So even for mine, like mine's pretty outdated now too. So the video capability of it isn't the best, isn't really that good anymore in today's standards. So if ever, I would probably upgrade that. But I have a bit of a nostalgic connection to that camera because that's my first ever one. So I don't really want to let it go.
It'd be hard to let go,
But okay, so overall, I'd say the camera body, you just got to think about what you're going to shoot and then go from there. But in terms of the lens, it's kind of a similar factor where if it's going to be sport, maybe you do want that longer lens. That gives you the most flexibility, especially if you don't get to be close. But the tried and true workhorse throughout any kind of job is usually the 24mm to 70mm zoom lens, which is one we have up on there as well. That will give you the most, a wide enough lens that fits most scenarios, and zooming into 70mm is also pretty much suitable for most of your everyday stuff too. So usually that lens is probably the first lens that most people get.
And what would that cost me? The camera and the lens?
The
body, I should say, and the lens.
I mean, the camera body, maybe, it'll range anywhere between, I don't know, $2,000. You can go from $2,000 up to, you can go up all the way up to like $10,000.
Okay.
The lens itself, there's a few brands you can go with, but normally you can get one if you go like relatively budget level, maybe about $1,000, $900.
Okay.
Just go on Marketplace actually. Usually there's a lot of good gear that you can get on Marketplace, so you don't have to ever pay retail price. But $1,000, that lens there I think is like 2.5 to 3. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it can be expensive.
It gets expensive.
It can be expensive.
So you really got to hold yourself back.
If you had a dream, do you have a dream camera or lens that you want to get?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Just happy with what I got, and I think for a lot of people, especially, I mean, you were mentioning before off air about just getting it done with what you have. I think that's the best way to go. And then obviously in certain stages you can then reward yourself with something better. But if you learn how to do what you want to do well with what you have, then it's only going to set you up for that time when you actually do get the better gear. You can utilize it to like the fullest capacity.
What are your thoughts on digicams?
Yeah, they're cool. Do
you have one?
Yeah, well, the first point and shoot camera that I had when I took to Japan the second time, that was a point and shoot camera. So, yeah, no, I think it's cool. I think it's awesome that more people are just getting those cameras out and taking photos. And the good thing with those cameras is it's disconnected from your phone in a sense where, or you bring that camera around because you want to take photos. It's not going to distract you with notifications or whatever. So you're intentionally on that to take photos. And of course, like the trends is like that really editorial flash kind of look and stuff. I mean, that's cool. It's cool.
It's what's in at the moment. Okay.
So,
I alluded to it before, Kenny, about using phones to take photos. So can you take good photos on phones?
True. Yeah, you definitely can take good photos on your phone. And I'm sure you can probably see a lot of photographers on Instagram and stuff that showcase those sorts of photos. And sometimes you can't even tell that they're phone photos. But I think sometimes in an everyday setting, especially if you're not editing the photos or know what you're doing with the editing and stuff, it's usually pretty easy to tell the difference between a photo that was taken by your phone and a photo that was taken by a camera. And usually that has to do with like the blur in the background and stuff, because a lot of the time with phones, the background is artificially blurred by, computer system and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes it does look a little too refined. Whereas if you use like a professional one, it looks maybe a little bit sharper. and the blur looks nicer, and it's like the outline around the person is more like authentic in a sense. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it.
Yeah.
But still overall, like, yeah, use whatever gear you have and make the most of it.
Yeah, right. Even if it's your phone. Yeah, okay. For those that are listening who either have a really cool fancy camera, body and lens, or who are using their phone, like me, I put my hand up, like me, can you go through some of the settings that people can play with to, enhance their videos and also their photos as well? So like, talking about contrast, exposure, composition. Can you go through all those and explain it in the most simplest terms as possible?
Okay, cool. So I guess we'll go through. First off is like the photography triangle. So that is exposure, aperture, and shutter speed. So with exposure, in a sense, it's just how bright or dark your image is. So when you adjust this, you can do this on your phone as well. If you go to like pro mode on your iPhone or whatever, adjusting the exposure, you can tell that your picture either gets brighter or darker. And sometimes you may want to do that if you're taking a picture of the sky, for example, when it's like really white and blown out, but that's the thing you want to see. You might want to bring your exposure down, and then you can actually see the clouds or whatever in the sky. So there's that. Then there's aperture. In a sense, it kind of has it's kind of like two different features or functions, I guess you can say. So aperture can determine how much blur you have in the background of your photos. So usually if you have a lower aperture, so 1.8 or 2.8 or something like that, you'll have the good blur in the background behind your particular subject. If you have a higher aperture, that's usually what you use when you're taking photos of something that is more vast or has a lot more subjects in it, because the further away someone gets from the lens, especially if you have multiple people that are staggered, you're going to need a higher aperture to be able to get all those people in focus at the same time. And then shutter speed, I've kind of alluded to it in like our sports photography chat, but yeah, that kind of that is determined by what subject you're shooting. So if you are doing sports and it's a lot of fast, high impact movement and things like that, then you're going to want to use a higher shutter speed. So a like 4,000th of a second, or maybe even faster, to be able to capture sharply what those athletes or what those people are doing when they're moving. Otherwise, you can go all the way in the other direction, and have a slower shutter speed, and that's when you can kind of start integrating blur into your photos if you want to be intentional with it. So, for example, I'm sure you would see like dance floor photos and things like that, where you will see the person moving, and there's like blurs, I guess, or lines coming off their body for like when they're moving their arms and stuff. So sometimes a photographer or yourself, you can be intentional with that if you want to drop your shutter speed there. Otherwise, a few other phrases that Maddie, you mentioned was like composition. And composition, in a sense, is just how you've kind of framed up your picture and where you want the person looking at your picture to draw. Like where do you want their attention to be when they're looking at your picture? That's in a sense composition, and how you put all those subjects together in that picture.
Yep.
And then contrast, I think you mentioned, was just kind of the difference between the brightest parts of the picture and the darkest parts of the picture. So the bigger the difference means, there's obviously more contrast in a sense. But yeah.
Okay. I think so. I think a lot of the listeners there, amateur or professional, would have learned something from that. And I definitely did. So I'm taking some notes away from this episode for sure. I don't want to make you choose, but do you have a favorite videography or photography moment without it being the first one you ever did?
So my most favorite, or maybe my most enjoyable one that I've had, was probably a recent tea ceremony that I did. For the most part, it was just because the energy was really high and the crowd had really good vibes, and like all the families were there to really, really celebrate.
Yeah.
And to give you an example, just like when the mother-in-law was giving the jewelry as gifts during the tea ceremony part, like the crowd was like cheering, and they were doing the whole like oh, like that kind of stuff is really fun to see, especially when everyone's there to celebrate like love and stuff. You can obviously tell they've got a really great group of like a great family behind them, and all their friends are like amazing people as well. And then like after the formalities, when like the actual dance party started and the the dad of the bride was like the star of the show. He was like getting into it, showing off all of his dance moves, and he was having a dance battle with the groom and stuff. Like those are the kind of moments that are really fun because I like being part of them, and I like being in the background cheering for that stuff too while I'm taking the photos. So I'll say that was probably in recent memory one of my most enjoyable ones.
Awesome. If you could photograph, I should say, anyone in the world or anything in the world, who would it be and why?
Yeah, so this one, I would say if I ever had an opportunity to shoot to shoot Liverpool football team, I think that would be like the pinnacle. Like I could die a happy person if I got to like be there on media day, take all their team portraits and all their like merchandise stuff and even the facilities around Anfield and things like that. And also if I ever got the chance to shoot on a match day, be on like pitch side, get like photos of them in action, I think that would be like the pinnacle of anything I'd love to do. So yeah. Okay.
And I imagine those photographs would be on the fast shutter.
Yes, for the most part.
See, I'll be listening. And I'm going to tag Liverpool in the comments. So hopefully you guys see this and hopefully you guys invite us to Anfield and we can do some photography and a podcast even on the pitch as well. So that'd be awesome. We talk about it offline there, Kenny, but hopefully you don't mind sharing your business. It's been going really strong, particularly the last 2 or 3 years, as you mentioned throughout this episode. But if I look at the next 2 or 3 years, where do you see the business going and what do you hope to achieve by then?
Yeah, cool. So definitely always good to have goals to work towards. And that's definitely the case. So I think at the moment for what I've been doing, it's really mainly been focusing on photography and a little bit of videography. So in the near future, I'd like to be able to integrate both together a little bit more as an equal thing. But I think the long-term goal would be like converting this photography business into more of a studio, which also integrates my marketing background, which I think just makes sense. I might as well make use of all the skills that I have. So being able to craft and cater marketing strategy, content strategy for a particular client, and then also do the rest of the actual in-house photography and videography for that strategy, I think would be an awesome place to take the business. And I would love to own my own like physical studio one day, have somewhere to shoot in my own space and stuff, as opposed to just being out on site or coming up with some random janky setup in my front living room. But yeah, so that's where I hope to be in the next couple of years.
Is that almost like social media agency almost, that marketing side of things, or not really?
It honestly, it could be, because a lot of content nowadays anyway is, the social media aspect of it is one of the most important parts. So definitely that would be included, because part of my everyday job as well, I work on social media quite often. It's not the only thing I do, but it's obviously one of the most important things for most clients anyway, I would imagine. Okay. No, awesome. No, I look forward to seeing that happen, and hopefully get you on back for episode or 2 or even episode 3 and see how the business is going, and hopefully it's a physical one next time we catch up. But no, thanks for sharing that, Kenny, and it's been a really awesome episode. And as an avid listener, you'd probably know this part coming up, but I do have a closing tradition on this show, and it is to ask every guest here that comes on, what is the best advice you've ever been given? Okay, so whenever I think about this question, I probably think back to my first ever proper full-time job. And this advice came from the HR manager there. And it was essentially, you become useless the day you stop learning. And that has resonated with me quite a lot, because I guess, after hearing that, whenever I go through life, I never make the assumption that I know everything. There's always something to learn. But then also there's always other people to learn off as well. So I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, my photography is probably not the best. My videography is probably not the best. My business systems, I know for sure, are not up to scratch. But that's the beauty of going through that kind of journey. You get to learn, experiment, and then obviously you find your own way. But it's always nice to have someone or something to up to. So, that's how it is.
Yeah. Nah. That's awesome. And I think, sometimes life is the greatest teacher. So I think that you definitely portray that within your work ethic and, what I've seen and experienced firsthand with your business, and super excited to see where it goes in the next 2 or 3 years. And as I said, hopefully next time we're sitting down, it's going to be in your studio.
Yeah, in my studio or at Anfield, like we mentioned.
Done. Anfield it is.
Liverpool, make it happen, please. Liverpool.
Please. Anyone from Liverpool listening, please. All right, cool. Now, let's get it. Thanks for coming on. Really awesome episode. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, and thank you as well. I just want to say, obviously, having spoken to you about a podcast before you even started, I'm just so glad to have the opportunity to listen to you and your guests when I'm driving to and from work. So it's honestly been a pleasure and great to see that you're finally doing it and you're 20, 30 episodes in already. So time is flying. So keep it up, and hopefully I'll be on for another part at Anfield. So let's see.
Yes, it has to be Anfield. Awesome. Now, thank you, Kenny. Really appreciate the kind words. But now, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for listening. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, give us high ratings, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.